winning 10 games is a huge deal. So we're going to do everything we can to put ourselves in the best position this month as we go to and as we travel down there to Orlando in a beautiful environment, beautiful venue to enjoy, but also know we're there to go win a football game and just get better as a football team. So excited to play a great Texas team and open up to questions.
All right, we'll start with Aaron McCann. Aaron, if you can go ahead and state your name, we'll ask you to unmute and you can go.
Yeah, Aaron McMahon, Andover News. I'm live. Sherrone, I know you guys played Texas last year. What do you know about this team this year?
Yeah, a little bit different, a little less, experience, but still a lot of talent. A lot of guys that we played last year played this year. Very, very talented team. Obviously, it starts with Arch at the quarterback position. They've got skilled guys all over the place. They do a really good job scheme wise. Coach Sarkisian does an outstanding job from an offensive standpoint of scheming up different defenses and executing at a high level. So, and defensively, they're fast, they're physical, good up front. So it's going to be a great challenge for our program.
All right, next question will come from Angelique Shingelis. Angelique, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Now I'm unmuted. Okay. Sherrone, I was just wondering if you think Justice Haynes will be available for this bowl game.
Yeah, it's something we'll look at and we'll see. His progress is going really good, so we'll see as we'll get more of an answer and clarity as we go through this week.
All right, from there we can move on to Kirk Bowles, Kirk of the Houston Chronicle. Kirk, you can go ahead when you're ready. If you have a question, raise your hand using the react button.
Hey, Coach. You obviously know that you're playing Texas again in a couple of years down here in Austin, and Sark has made mention of the fact that his team wasn't rewarded for even scheduling Ohio State this year for CFP consideration. Do you feel like those high-profile games, like you in Texas and Ohio State play, uh, are worth the risk?
I mean, there's two ways to think of it, right? Like for our student athletes and for our coaches and for us to play in those big time games, that's why you come to Michigan. I'm sure that's why they went to Texas to play in those games. But, to Coach Sarkisian's point of, what happens when you're judged on those losses at the end of the day, those wins and losses, it can affect you. So I think those are conversations as we get through this season and we get into the college football players conversations, those wins and losses matter. And, we got as a university, you have a certain way of doing things. As from conference to conference, you have a certain way of doing things. So those are decisions we'll have to make as we go through. But we're excited about the challenge of playing Texas, and we know we got to play them later on down the road.
And one other thing, does Texas look like a college football playoff caliber team to you?
Yeah, I mean they do. Especially watching them that last game against A&M, they played their tails off. Their physical defense, offensively, they're explosive. They've got playmakers all over the place. So yeah, absolutely they do.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Aaron next. Sorry, I got your name wrong last time. McMahon, I apologize.
It's all right. Sharon, just to follow up on the question about justice, what's the next week or two look like for you guys in terms of meeting with the players, and what's your expectations in terms of like opt-outs or guys maybe potentially not playing in this game?
Yeah, I mean, for our expectation as we go through the week, these guys got finals in these next 2 weeks, so they'll finish those out. But we'll practice. We have a good steady pace of, practices and some skill workout things that we have to stay within the 20-hour rules that we have to do. So we'll still have practices as we go out through the week to get, start to get implemented in the game plan, and coaches will start the game plan already have. But really, it's going to be about getting better at football, and our young guys, our older guys, everybody doing that. As far as opt-outs and guys who play in the game, we'll have more of an answer as we go through the week. There'll be guys that have already thought about it and what they're going to do. A lot more playing than not playing, so that's a positive. But we'll have more of an answer as we go through the week.
And then if I could ask about the Kerry Coombs hire, how did that materialize and what does he bring to the program?
Yeah, he brings a lot of energy, excitement, a veteran presence that's done it at a high level, in the NFL, in college, obviously, and then in high school. I think it's awesome when you brought somebody in that has high school experience, but, is an elite recruiter and developer of men. And very excited about the hire, and the connection has just been built over time, and he's going to do a great job for us.
All right, next question will take us from David Eckert. David, you go ahead when you're ready.
Coach, appreciate the time. Following up on the opt-outs question, I'm just curious, do you guys, whether it's in your rev share or your NIL deal language, do you have anything in those contracts that incentivizes these guys to play in a bowl game? Is there any structure like that with those deals?
I think that goes school to school. We just really want guys that want to play in the game. You don't want to have to, promote people based on what they get from rev share or in the game to play in the game. You want guys that just want to play football, that want to play another game of football. So those guys that do want to play, just like last year, we had a bunch of guys that wanted to play and they played their tails off. So we'll treat that the same, and the guys that don't want to play or have other things, and there's not going to be many of those, I think. So we'll find out as we go through, but. As far as the contracts, I don't want to really speak on it, exactly what we talk about from terms legally.
All right, next one we'll go to Anwar Richardson, then we'll go back to Angelique. Anwar, you can go ahead when you're ready.
What's going on, Coach?
How you doing, man?
Doing good, fam. Coach, I know every program is different. We've seen some programs today decide to opt out of going to a bowl game. I'm not asking you to speak on their decisions. I want you to maybe explain why it was important for you guys as a program to play in this bowl game.
I mean, I think another opportunity to go play football, especially against a great opponent on a great stage, is just another opportunity and why you've come to the places like this. So for us, it felt like it was important not only for the development of our coaches and our players, but just the development of the program, right? And what you get to do, and it's a reward to be able to go do things like that. It's nice. It's about 20 degrees here too, so going to Orlando will be nice for the week, not only for the coaches' families, and the players. So. Uh, we're really excited about the opportunity that we have to go play in such a high profile bowl game. And, I can't, yeah, like you said, you can't speak on everybody else's decision, but it's another opportunity for us to go play football and practice, and we're really excited about it.
All right, we've got time for a couple more. We'll take one more from Angelique. We'll go to Tony Garcia and see what we've got time for after that.
Sherrone, you mentioned 10 wins and being very important to this program, but I was curious, what has been the player response since the Ohio State loss and embracing this new goal?
I mean, yeah, disappointing, right? We were all disappointed. Usually you give it the 24-hour rule. We give it more the 48-hour to let it sit in. But there's, guys are chomping at the bit to get back to work, and they've been working out, doing things, getting their bodies right, healing, recovering throughout these past couple days to make sure they get their minds right and their bodies right to the game. So there'll be a lot of guys excited to go play in this one.
And real quick, Sherrone, has Kerry already joined the staff? Is he already in Ann Arbor? And do you anticipate any other staff changes?
Yeah, Kerry's here, starting to work. Legally we'll get all that stuff binding as far as contract and all that. But he's here, and as far as other staff changes, not as of yet.
All right, we'll take one from Tony, and then we'll take one more from Clayton Safety, and that's probably the last one we'll be able to get to.
Yeah. Hey, Sherrone. Ernest Hausmann has missed the last couple of games. He's posted a little bit on social media during that time. Wondering if you can just sort of help us understand where he stands, if he's with the program, and if you expect him for the bowl game.
Yeah, Ernest is going through some things. Just I don't really want to talk on or speak on just things from a personal standpoint. He's also been dealing with a thumb, that happened in the Northwestern game. So just things that he's been dealing with, and we're just here to support him. That's it.
Okay, and just one more follow-up. You said about the coaching, if there's going to be any more changes. I think you said like not at this time. Do you mean like you are not expecting any more, or
Yeah,
just
no, I'm not.
All right, Clayton Safety, you can go ahead and unmute when you're ready.
Yeah, coach, just one more on Kerry real quick. Will he coach the bowl game? Is that the plan? And then secondly, Jordan Marshall obviously came back in the last game, but is he going to be okay for this game on New Year's Eve?
Yeah. Kerry will coach in the game, and then Jordan would be great. He's he fought through that. He had a shoulder that dinged up in the game before, tough through it, man, and tried as much as he could. And I mean, you wish he could have played the whole game, right, with 6 carries for 70-something yards. But really, he pushed as much as he could, and when he couldn't, he couldn't. So, but he'll be ready for the bowl game, absolutely.
All right, I'll do one more quick call for hands. Anybody got a burning question they need to get to with these last 2 minutes? If not, we'll thank you for your time, Coach. We look forward to hosting you down here in Orlando in a few weeks. And we've got a big match against Texas ahead of us, so it'll be fun. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you guys.